I believe we're getting there. I've looked up the time it takes to play this, and it's about, I think, an average of 9 to 10 hours. And we've already put in about 8.5. Yeah, that sounds about right. So, I'm super excited to see where this goes. I'm super excited to see where this goes. So, I love, like, this is obviously a lot more horror than Bioshock. But I love Bioshock's story. Like, I like Bioshock more than this because it has fighting. I really do dig the action. But the story that they tell throughout this is just superb. I'd much rather experience something like this in a game than actually go and read the book about it. The book would be interesting. The book could add more details. But I love experiencing a story. Man, I forget that these cutscenes are so long. Ugh. Cutscenes. Load screens. I think they pushed an update. No. Hold on one second. No, crap. I have to restart it. This restarts back up a lot faster, don't worry. The sound's off. It's in my speakers. It must be because I switched while the game was running. So, this won't take too long. Once it's been, yeah, it's weird. Once it's been loaded up once, then it's cached in the RAM, which makes kind of sense. Kinda. You think it'd drop. I don't know. It makes sense and it doesn't. You think you'd want that cleared out of the RAM. We'll see, but yes. This game is more of a narrative story. Obviously it's lacking some of the aspects of what truly makes a game. Mechanics wise, but it's still, there are goals you have to get from one area to the next. They do offer a game experience. So, yeah. I just have a hard time, because this reminds me actually a lot like Myst kind of thing. Except for Myst, if I'm not mistaken, that's a point and click, isn't it? And I don't remember, it's been so long since I played that. I think it was. But it's kind of like that, except for you control first person. I love first person. Yeah. What mechanics? There's a couple of mechanics where the puzzles, I guess. Puzzles, you have to make it from point A to point B. There are some enemies you just can't really attack. I like it. Is it perfect? By no means is it perfect. And some parts you're like, the graphics aren't the world's best, but to be really honest, that's not a bad thing. I'm just critiquing it. I guess I should have the mic a little closer just so you guys can hear me better. Okay. That has the whole of humanity. Well, not the whole, but what was left. Kinda curious how we're gonna get through this thing. I just need to man up and try to actually get over it. I'm assuming since they don't usually block stuff off like that. Okay. Yeah, there's the light. Okay. Yeah, I saw a light, which is actually that's good design. That's good design. I think once you start seeing stuff like this, that means the area would be really hot. And I wonder how well these suits would protect you. They protect from pressure. I'm kind of curious how well they'd protect against heat, though. I mean, obviously they protect against really cold temperatures. Kind of curious, like, what surprise they're gonna throw our way. At the end, what's the plot twist? I feel like there's gonna be a plot twist. I never finished any of their other games like Amnesia, but we'll see. It does. It feels like it's space. Like they... it's so weird because sometimes I feel like, am I in space instead? Obviously it's water. I mean, you can tell by lighting and whatnot, but still. Well, if we really think about it, besides different pressures and... I'm pretty sure different temperatures. The differences between space and the deep ocean. One has an abundance of water or something where one's a vacuum, where the other one's a vacuum, aka space. Two places to go. I'm assuming that was the proper way. So we're gonna go this way. Okay, let's see here. Safety protocol level 7.
So close.
Just tell me what you want.
I need you to stop the WoW.
What? How?
The enslaved protein sloshing around your suit is the news from which the WoW will live itself.
What are you talking about?
As soon as I came to in Omicron, I tried to tell them to make the toxin that would make the WoW wither, but they didn't understand. They put it inside my cabinet. It's so infuriating. They needed to take it to Alpha, the fountainhead of the misery we created. And then the girl, she figured it out. She was going to take care of it, but the WoW shrieked. They all died. You You took the gel from the cabinet and made yourself into a venomous snake.
You're saying this toxin inside of me can kill the WoW altogether?
You are the snake, Simon. Now strike at the heart.
Is he from, like, memory? I mean, he looks like the WoW.
What the hell is that?
The heart. It controls all the structure gel on Pathos 2. All you need to do is poison the imprint, and the heart will unwillingly spread it across Pathos 2, killing it. Feel it, Simon. Push your arm into the heart.
Dumps if I don't want to. I mean,
Come on. Do it.
I kinda... I'm gonna do it. I just don't wanna... I wonder if there's another way to do it. Or... to not... Like, if you can choose not to do it.
Please. I did what you wanted.
They're good, Simon. You can't leave. The only way to make sure the WoW stays dead is to destroy the only one who's immune to the new pattern. Don't worry. I'll make it quick.
Oh god!
Whoa. Probably should get out of here. Oh. So, is it dead or is it dying? What's over there? Oh, it's another heal spot. Okay. That thing just looks creepy. Will it eat me? Let's see. I think oh, I'm still alive. I am still alive. No. No. Oh. I hate not being able to see what's behind me. Oh my gosh, this is a lot further than I thought it was. So, obviously, not all the WoW is dead. Wow. It's... Back off. Back off, old man. really curious what engine they're using. It's, at the very least, their game is it runs kind of sluggish.
This has to be 5, right? Hope the Ark made it here in one piece.
What the hell happened to your arm?
It's complicated. I just need to know one thing. I'll have both my arms in the Ark, right?
Yes, of course. Are you okay, though? Can you do stuff?
Yeah. Let's just get this over with.
Did you find the Ark?
I did, but I kinda lost it on my way here on an automated tram thing headed to Phi. So it should be around somewhere.
That's great. Let's go get it. Alright, Phi is up and running.
Okay, yeah. This is the launch area. Storage. Assuming that's where the Ark is. Red, no clue. Bad?
A satellite is loaded into a shell.
Oh, satellite.
The shell is accelerated by electromagnets along the barrel. Enough momentum to escape Earth's gravity is gained before regression. Reaching space, the satellite will shed the shell and unfold. Onboard thrusters settle the satellite into an orbit.
Okay, cool. Wait a second. Okay. Seems like the same thing. Essentially. Launched. Successful. Successful. On hold.
Did you find out what happened to the Ark team?
Not really. For some reason, they didn't go through with the launch, so they took the Ark back to Tau.
I hope everything's okay with the space gun.
Yeah, I doubt I'll be able to repair one of those.
Yeah. Gonna need the tool. So obviously we go this way. It's like, I'm feeling like this is the last
This feels
part
like
of the
the
game.
longest day of my life. Has it just been one day?
I have no idea. Our time together is a confusing patchwork of moments to me.
What time is it then? What day?
It's May 11th, 2104, 3:30 a.m., but I don't remember when we started.
Okay, I think this might be the satellite? Yep, there's the...
You know, I woke up in my bed today. It just happens to have happened 100 years ago.
Sounds like a riddle.
It does. I woke up in my bed today, 100 years ago. Who am I? Who am I? It's crazy to think where I am. Not only is this the future, it's in the middle of the sea. I know nothing of this time or what the world looks like.
Not much to brag about now. Before the comet, I guess it was okay.
Yeah, better not oversell it. Might change my mind about the Ark.
You seriously not gonna tell me what happened to your arm?
Had to make a quick stop at Site Alpha to help kill the WoW.
What? How? Why?
Stop it from torturing the memory of humanity.
Okay, let's just get back to work.
What will you do when you get into the ocean? What's the first thing?
Make sure the Ark is safe, stabilize flight path, activate solar panels.
What's the first human thing you're gonna do?
Oh. Watch the clouds roll by? Does that count?
I'd say so.
No, if there news anything bad.
Alright, found the Ark.
Good job, Simon. Now we just need to find the assembly space so we can stuff the Ark into a shell.
I'm assuming we passed by the assembly space. Just saying. Can't shove it in unless this is something else. It's something else. I didn't see this door. So yeah, what to do?
Are you suggesting we keep it down here? Doesn't that defeat the whole purpose? Eternity among the stars, remember?
The people inside the Ark won't know the difference. We can just keep it down here, and we don't have to risk the Ark being shot through 5,000 meters of broken barrow, and then push through another 100,000 meters of a dust-filled atmosphere.
Will the casing stand all that pressure?
Oh, the odds aren't great.
Catherine, say something.
I don't care what you think. I'm launching it.
No need to be like that. Let's just hang on to it for a while and think about it. We can launch it later.
No, that wasn't the deal. We made it to save them. To launch it. Out there, it's hope. Down here, it's a fucking terrarium waiting to die with the rest of us.
Come on, Catherine. It's not asking much. Let's just think about it before we risk the only hope humanity has to survive this hell.
No, we launch it today. This is my project, my Ark.
It's bigger than that. Don't you get it? It's not for you to decide. We're talking about the fate of mankind.
Get away from the Ark! I'm taking it.
No, you're not.
I'm not gonna let you ruin this.
I'm assuming that's her.
Stop it!
Guys, calm down.
Get away from me! No!
What the fuck did you do?
It was an accident.
Catherine, talk to me. Catherine.
Oh God. Catherine,
Did you say something?
it's you. You had an accident.
What do you... Oh. You mean Catherine. Don't worry, it's better this way. How did she die?
You got into a fight with your colleagues. They didn't want to risk launching the Ark. Thought it might not make it through the atmosphere.
They killed me?
I'm sure it was an accident. They were just trying to stop you from launching. I think I found the assembly space.
What do you see?
It's like a huge open shell, a bullet ready to be loaded.
That's great. All prepared for the Ark.
On it.
How could they kill me?
Catherine,
I know I'm not an easy person to like. I just thought they trusted me.
come on. Don't do this to yourself.
It's interesting. She becomes more like very good story development on the characters. I think very good. You get to learn about her as you continue on.
Did you have friends in Toronto, Simon? Real friends?
There were some. Jesse, Sean, Kevin.
I always wanted a friend. Like a real one. Someone you'd never hold back with.
I'll be your friend.
Oh, pity friendship? Now I feel even worse.
Well, you should.
Do you think the Ark will make it through the atmosphere and into space?
It almost doesn't matter anymore. We just need to try. If we burn, we burn. If we're lucky, we just gave humanity a new chance, a whole new era. With the Ark on Earth, maybe we have a few decades of power to keep it running. In space, we have thousands of years.
Still, One hell of a gamble, though.
This was never about certainty. It's about hope.
It would have been better if they could have kept it down here, put them in there, find a way to restructure humanity, maybe cryo-freeze or something like that, the humans that are down here, and help rebuild, maybe get up to the surface, help rebuild the surface or something, if it's still livable. Up in space, they don't have any way, like they're in this self-contained center, like it's like the universe had 2,000 years left. And then it just blows up. And then there's nothing you can do about it. That's essentially what they're doing to themselves within the arc. Kind of interesting. It's just preventing the enemies from being not destroy. It's just gonna fall apart.
I'm really not that familiar with guns of any size. Oh, here we go. All systems say go.
Lock and load.
Come back up and we'll head out to the gun.
Now what?
Now we just need to get the shell into the gun and then, kaboom.
Aren't you forgetting something? How are you gonna get us on board the Ark? Don't we need to make another scan?
Oh, don't you worry. You don't operate something like the Omega space gun with your bare hands.
You mean, it's a pilot seat? Like back at Omicron?
Yes, and we can use it to transfer you to the Ark while operating the gun. 2 birds and all that. Now, take the Omnitool and plug it in next to the seat and I'll guide you through the final steps.
But is she coming? Question mark. You have to go back outside.
Get used to that.
Guess you won't have to. Not after this is over.
Right. Have a seat. Comfortable?
As good as it's gonna get.
Okay, I'll activate the seat. You should be able to use the machines to load the bullet you assembled.
How do you operate this thing?
Don't know, I never tried this one. But pilot seats are notoriously easy to use, so it shouldn't be a problem.
I think that just could be automated.
There we go.
They just want to give you something to do.
Okay, ready when you are. Just hit the button and we're off.
But we need to transfer our minds to the Ark.
We also need to make sure it launches at all, so I tied them to a single switch. Just push the button and we're off.
Did you, though?
Here we go. No turning back.
Thank you, Simon.
Don't mention it.
It's an amazing thing you did. And I want you to know I appreciate it.
Time, 20 seconds.
What's the matter with the upload?
Just give it a second.
Thought you guys would have better bandwidth in the future.
10 seconds. 9, 8.
I'm sorry,
7,
Simon.
6.
You're not
You gotta be kidding me!
5, 4, 3,
Come on, load!
2.
Yes! Fuck yeah, we made it! Woo!
Wait.
I'm still here. I'm still here. Catherine? Catherine?
I'm here.
What the hell happened? What went wrong?
Nothing. They're out there, among the stars. We're here.
No. We were getting on the Ark. I saw it. It finished loading just before it launched.
Yeah, I saw.
Then why are we still here?
Simon, I can't keep telling you how it works. You won't listen. You know why we're here. You were copied onto the Ark. You just didn't carry over. You lost the coin toss. We both did. Just like Simon and Omicron, just like the man who died in Toronto 100 years ago.
No. This is bullshit. We came all this way. We launched the Ark.
I know it sucks, but our copies are up there. Catherine and Simon are both safe on the Ark. Be happy for them.
Are you crazy? We're gonna die down here with those fuckers living at large on a spaceship. They're not us. They're not us.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Simon. I'm proud of what we did. We made sure that something of the hundreds of thousands of years of human history survives, that something lives on.
No. Fuck this. Fuck this. Fuck you. Fuck you, Catherine. You lied. And I believed in you. I trusted you. You said we're getting on the fucking Ark.
We are on the Ark, you idiot! I didn't lie. I can't be responsible for your goddamn ignorance. You
Fuck! Catherine? Please don't leave me alone. Catherine? Catherine?
Wow, I was kind of hoping we'd see them. Well, that ending. They made it both sweet and bitter. They saved humanity in a sense, and themselves, but they lost themselves in the end. It's interesting. So it had a horror ending with you rescued society, like you rescued the world ending. They mixed it together. But it's more sweet, obviously, than it was bitter, since you saved humanity. You are on there. It would have been better if she could have triggered them to both die or, like, erase themselves once the upload was done. Because then they wouldn't have had to go through that whole shouting at each other and just dying. They just died anyways. Testology. HPL3 engine uses. Oh, was that the engine they used, or was it something else? 6 babies, huh? It's not bad. Oh, Sony. Was that in a Sony? Was this? What? What?
Whoa. Is this... Did it work?
Oh, don't give us the horror ending. It felt like it was bittersweet. Is it going to... Are they going to make it? Oh. Just look at the beautiful forest. I gotta hook back up to the machine. Welcome. If you're reading this, you have successfully entered the ARC. This survey is designed to give the developers a better understanding of your subjective experience and how to improve your well-being. Please continue with the survey. So, programmers inside, so you can manipulate the program that you're inside. But oh, that seems like don't run it. Don't introduce any bugs, literally and figuratively. I wonder what they're doing with those surveys. Last second, as you're flying through the atmosphere and as you're experiencing this, it's gonna blow up in our faces. I don't know, actually. Like, I can predict things okay, though. This is one of those predictions.
Catherine? Catherine! I can't believe we actually made it.
Well, we did.
I'm so relieved.
It's okay, Simon. Everything's all right now.
Is it, though? My problem is, would you actually age in the Ark? Would you age in the Ark? Because that's how your mind thinks of it. Your mind is programmed to age, in a sense. That's the only way I could think that would work. Else you'd be immortal, or until, you know, the whole thing breaks down. Guess you could put it into the programming. Doesn't seem like you'd want to. Well, I'm glad they concluded it. Like, you gotta see both sides. The version of you that died and the version of you that made it. So, I guess we gotta look at this from what it really is. I want to say it's a survival horror, but you had no real danger in the sense that you would have died. Yeah, you can die, but as I can show, I don't know if I died maybe once, if at all. The danger was very much there. And I don't know if I'd say it's horror. It definitely has the elements, especially within the cinematic and music. Obviously, I mean, it's pretty freaky. But, and a lot of times in horror, you know, the two main people actually make it in this. I really like how they included Catherine in the journey. I think if you didn't have Catherine, it would have made this a lot less meaningful to make it to the end and to complete your goal. That was... This, story-wise, this was... I'd say... Hard to say perfect, but it is really good. It is near perfect on the story. And it should be. That's the number one goal of this, was story. But I guess it's just a happier horror story. If you could say that about humanity dying, that was really interesting. I really liked it. I have not played a game like that in a while where it really got you thinking about things like SOMA did. And I couldn't recommend this to everyone, but I can definitely recommend it to anyone that's going to enjoy a story that wants more, not realism, but that's just not all happy-go-lucky. That's going to have some depth to it, because it did. It had characters that were brought to life to you, even though they were dead, by touching them, reading about their past, watching, I don't know if you watch anything per se, but you get to kind of relive what they went through in the last little bit, or got to see their quarters. You got to see the aftermath. And so, you know what? It's a post-apocalyptic game. Post-apocalyptic. Yeah. Fallout has horror tendencies to it. Post-apocalyptic is not a nice thing. I would definitely put this into the post-apocalyptic genre. As you start out, you get to see what the world was, and after the intro's done, you get to see what the world became. The world that you know it ended. You're in this foreign area, under the water, or in the ocean, and you're trying to rescue humanity, in a sense, from this post-apocalyptic world. And you do. You create from the post-apocalyptic world a utopia. this game actually did a lot of really cool things with the way that I thought of the genre, because I was like, I went into this, it's horror, it's going to scare the crap out of me. It scared me a few times. Definitely did a good job of that. But it convinced me, like, in the end, it convinced me that it was actually a post-apocalyptic world. Or genre, post-apocalyptic genre. That's pretty nuts. I guess if you're gonna compare it to something like Half-Life could be considered apocalyptic in a sense. Like, no, because there's still a lot of humanity alive. Most died, but there's still quite a few people alive. This is interesting because we always hearing in the news about comets or asteroids hitting the Earth and destroying it, right? We had a little bit of scare not too long ago, but if it did happen, who would survive? Possibly, we have a ton of people that could survive, depending on how bad the Earth's destroyed. That's the thing. How badly... It didn't look like the Earth was so bad that you couldn't live in a bunker. So, there could still be people alive on Earth. How long they can live for and whatnot, who knows? But they definitely continued humanity just in case. So this could be branched off into so many different subjects or areas of what is possible or what could have happened. With what the games, so the game is, I believe, $29.99, or is it $24.99? I think it's one of those two. For what you paid and the experience you get is actually extremely good. Story-wise, yes, there's no action, so there's an extra element or two. There's no real bad guys, because the bad guys are bigger. I think it would have been really clunky to add a weapon to the game and have you attack the enemies. But they did a good job, and I would say that this is comparable to any AAA game, even though this is more of an indie game. More of an indie game. I mean, it looked like a smaller development crew. It's not like your Call of Duties or Assassin's Creed. They did it. They did a good job. Like, this is a very good story. It's very meaningful to me. It made me come to like the characters. A little flat on the characters themselves, like being super likable. But that you don't need that to be. You don't need to be super likable. It is a post-apocalyptic. It's horror-ish. Yeah. So they did a good job. I would say the two downsides to this were, at times the graphics got in the way. Some things looked amazing. Other things looked a little funny, which is fine. And I would not knock it down. If I was doing like a 1 to 10, I would not knock it. And at this moment, I can't think of anything else I didn't really like about it. The beginning to really get you sucked in the story, that was a little bit more difficult. Like appearing inside the bedroom, that was kind of annoying, to be honest, because I got distracted by things, and then it got a little bit boring because I didn't know what the game was about. I didn't know if I had to pick stuff up, but I guess that was a good tutorial. I guess it was the tutorial section where you got to play with things and figure. Because I spent like a half hour in there. Like, I spent so much longer in there than I should have. If I was going to put a grade just off the top of my head right now, and if it was an overall game for anyone, like, so if anyone's looking at this, I'd give it about between a 7.5 and an 8. If you're super interested in story, atmosphere, the journey and character development, and thinking, like if you're in this group of you want not just horror where everyone dies and just all, everything just goes to hell, I would give this like a 9.5 if it was on 1 to 10 scale. You can't mine it. You can't dock it points for not having guns or something else like that. That's not the type of game it was. It was never intended for that. Or not having enough action. I would, if you're interested in story, game design, wanting to like and not so much like characters, because they had their flaws obviously, but in the end, I mean, they were very likable. Even though one split off and they were very, very likable, the other one kind of degraded in his almost in insanity, chewing out Catherine. It was really good. So I don't know what I don't know what group to put that into people, but if you like non-traditional, just pure action with some story, you probably won't like this as much. Whereas if you really want a deep story, if you like books, if you like thought-provoking messages or situations like this, definitely 9.5. Definitely 9.5. Maybe 9. I'd have to give some time to think about it. But yeah, awesome game. Definitely recommend it. And I'm going to call it good for now. If you're watching this on stream, I will be back in the next video. I'll actually come back on. I'm going to take a break now. So, thanks for enjoying me through Thanks for enjoying this game with me. It's been awesome. I hope you enjoy it. Please leave a comment below on what you liked about it, what you think of my critique or kind of digestion of the game at this time, where I kind of digested what went on, what I liked, what I didn't like, per se. And remember to like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.